I've been looking for another project, so I decided on a day off, I'd come here.
The auction. You never know what you're going to find here. Resto mods, workhorses, abandoned projects. There's new cars coming in every day and new cars leaving, so you're never going to get the same twice. I have always had a thing for one of these stags. That's been restored. That is gorgeous. Properly built old British car. There's a Hoovy special right here, a Bentley Turbo R. If you ever want to buy an old Bentley, make sure it's not something like this. Check, because the rear suspension's sagging down compared to the front. The mineral oil system has just shot. So, whilst I like these, probably not one to buy. An old Morris Minor. I've just noticed he's used the same thing that you've used in your Clio. Yeah, the seals on this are not going to be any good, are they? Yeah, the wood definitely needs doing on this car. But it's cool when it's old and it's British. That. Oh, I do love a Subaru Impreza. If you're ever going to ask me about a Mitsubishi Evo or a Scooby, it's got to be an Impreza. I like it, but I'm going to steer away from Japanese cars. Huh. She's nice, isn't she? She's only got 40,000 miles. It's only on 40k miles. Jesus, this is clean. I do like these. E46 M3. She's clean. Oh, it's an SMG. No, I'm sorry. There is a lot here, but I've got some keys, and the first one we're going to start with is this. It's unassuming, but this is an Audi S6 Avant with the 5-litre V10. It's such a sleeper. I love it. But there's always one thing about these cars that you can't love more than anything else. It's the noise. That does not sound like the exhaust is out there, does it? I think that's a miss on this one. It sounds like the cap's been nicked and the engine doesn't sound happy, and considering those plugs and coils are about £1,000 a thought. No! This is a Mitsubishi GTO. I like it, but I'm definitely not going for it, because the last time I was here, oh God, I discovered a fishing pole in the back of the car, and also it sounds like this. Not a chance. Now, I've had an idea for financial regret for a long time, which is I wanted to buy the cheapest Rolls Royce or Bentley in the country and go for a road trip to all 4 most extreme points. I think this might be, oh my God! One second. I don't want to get in this car without a mask. I really don't. Jesus Christ. Allegedly, this one starts, but battery's dead. I don't really want to spend much more time in here, so no. I think this one's a bit too far gone. I know that I said no to Japanese cars, but there's one more car that takes my fancy. It's this. Don't say anything about me. I know for a fact from the last time, the driver's door doesn't work. So the trick to it with this one is unlock the passenger side and then only opens from inside the car. It's not brilliant, but if it works, it works. Don't shut. I like the rolls, it doesn't smell very nice, but it's not exactly mouldy, it's not clean. I don't know if they're supposed to be that knocky, but that sounds all right out the back. It's a little 1 litre, just Japanese little K car. I shouldn't love this as much as I do, but I think this is my favourite out of the 4.
They are cool.
I know it needs a lot of work on the inside. It's not brilliant, and the roof just needs work. It's not very nice, but
If we do like what we did with the Initiale, there's definitely worse cars. I just love how utilitarian everything is about this car underneath the 50s style bodywork. It's brilliant. I love these things. I think we're going to return and have a look because I like some of the cars here. Let's see if we can find a project. Do you know who owned one?
Who?
Eric Clapton.
Oh.
That didn't go to plan. So a couple of days before the auction was due to start, I checked on their website just to see if anything new popped up. And something did. An Aston Martin V8 Vantage from 2005. Now, some people might know that Aston Martin is my favourite car brand. The Vantage, the DB9, the DBS, or the V8 era is my favourite era of Aston Martins overall. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's where they hit their prime. However, I thought this Vantage, because it was such a late entry into the auction, I thought it was going to go cheap. Plus it was in resale Aston Martin spec, which was grey with a black leather interior. It was also a 6-speed manual, and I love a manual gearbox in a car like that. So I thought, I might be able to get this for relatively cheap. I'd have to get rid of the Porsche, obviously, but I thought this might be my way into a good Aston Martin. Until I started it.
Really does not sound good.
That is not good. It's ticking like an old grandfather's clock. I'm not buying that. I mean, yes, it has hydraulic lifters, and the reason that these fail is because of the shims on the buckets of the valves that tend to go. Now, I can't remember which way round this is. I think that if it's the exhaust cam side where the valves are starting to fail, you can just pull the cam out and then it'll be fine. Well, you can fix it there. But if it's on the intake cam, you're screwed, because then you need to take the entire engine apart. And I thought, all right, well, it's dire, but it can be done. It's not ridiculously expensive considering an Aston Martin engine rebuild, if it needs to have done, and if it is the right cam where you can just take the cam out and then do it there, could be easy enough. So if it went for cheap, 10 grand, might be worth it, and you can part it out. No. The Aston sold for £16,000, which is not far off what they're actually worth for an alright version, 18 to 20. So that's an absolute no, and that's before auction fees. So whatever it cost after fees, I've got absolutely no idea. With the Aston out of the way, what about the other cars I was looking at? So the GTO, that wasn't part of the auction, so it's not something that I'm really worried about. The Audi, oh God, I should have gone for that. It ended up selling for £4,000 for a 5.2 litre V10. That was a mistake. The Rolls sold anywhere between £2,000 to £3,000, and the Nissan sold for around 3 grand. For a categorised and still damaged Nissan Figaro, I know that you can get decent ones for around that money, so it made absolutely no sense to buy that car. So I missed out on the Audi, I didn't miss out on the Aston, I didn't miss out on the Rolls, and I definitely didn't miss out on the Nissan. So that's it, is it? I lost out on a car I really wanted and a few cool projects? Yeah, I'm not too fussed. Those cars, yes, that auction does have some good ones, but the ones that I was looking at were just a bit too far gone. Not for me, it happens. However, I didn't come away from that empty-handed. See what I mean?